In this video, I'm gonna answer the question is how do you build instant trust with your prospects over the phone to slam more deals and make more money? I'm gonna give you my 5 keys to doing this, plus 2 bonuses at the end that I think you're really going to enjoy. And if you don't know who I am already, guys, my name is Richard Mugica. I have a sales agency called onecallclosers.com, where we have now sold over $60 million online in the high ticket space, selling for some of the biggest influencers on the planet. Names such as Dean Graciosi, Tony Robbins, Bedros Keuilian, Robbie Blanchard, and that's just to name a few. And the reasons why I make these videos, guys, is because the one thing we have figured out is how to sell, is how to influence and persuade, and you can use this to make more money. And if you haven't done this already, down below, you can join our free group called the Closers Network. It's completely free, and inside I'm gonna give you my 4 frameworks to closing every single deal in one phone call, the same frameworks that we use as a company. So with that being said, guys, let's dive right into it. Number 1, if you wanna build instant trust with your audience and slam more deals, you need to have the right intent on the call. If there's one thing people can sense more than anything else when you're selling, is your intent behind why you are selling. Is your intent to sell the person? Is your intent to drastically help the person? Before anything, get your head right. And a tip to do this, we call it the pre-call stock here at One Call Closers. So what you're gonna do is, every time you have a call coming up, you're gonna take that person's email address and you're gonna put it into Google. And then once you put it into Google, you're gonna find their social media profiles and then find something that you like about this person, whether you like their dog, maybe you like their birthday, maybe you like that they like to travel, maybe you like their kids. And what this does is it humanizes the experience that you're gonna have with that person. It's gonna get your intent ready to not sell the person, but to drastically help the person. Number 2, and I see this all the time and it's ruining your chances of building trust, is do not be late to the call. The last thing you need to do is be late. Remember, prospects are always looking for reasons not to do the deal. And if you're late to the call and if you're unprepared, you're not in a quiet area, it's loud, you have things going on in the background, that shows the prospect that you are not a professional. It lowers trust, and prospects are always finding reasons why not to do the deal. If you're gonna be late, make sure you text the prospect at least 5 to 10 minutes beforehand, letting them know up front, so that way you do not lose trust in the deal. Number 3, guys, you're gonna be authentic on the call. There's nothing worse than when I see closers getting on the call and they're not themselves, right? A lot of times we believe that, hey, who we are is not good enough to close the deal, so we try to be somebody else. But that's the last thing you wanna do on every single call. Be yourself, be who you are. Let your personality shine through, and the best way to do this, guys, is to get off scripts. As a company at One Call Closers, we do not use scripts, we use frameworks. And a framework is like a bullet point, right? It's a methodology that we go through in bullet point format. And the reason why we do this as a company is because scripts allow you to be somebody completely different. You don't want to do that. You want to be you, which is why we use frameworks. If you're using a script right now, get off of it. And how could you bullet point that script so that way you stay on track? If you're not authentic on the call, and if you're not being completely you on the call, the prospect will sniff it out. You'll lower trust and you'll lower your instant credibility, which if you lose that, more than likely you're also gonna lose the deal. Number 4, guys, is remember tonality is key. If your tonality does not match the mood of the call, what happens is you lower trust instantly. If you open up a high ticket sales conversation and your tonality is looking to be confident and also have some charisma behind it, but your tonality is down, your tonality doesn't match what your intent is on the call. And anytime the mood doesn't match the tonality, trust goes down. And once trust goes down in a high ticket sales conversation, it is very, very hard to get it back. So that's why the thing you need to focus on the most when you open a call, when you're in the discovery, when you're in the close, is does my tonality match what the mood of the call is? If the answer is yes, you're on track. If the answer is no, then you're not. Anytime you're in an empathetic mood, let's just say the prospect tells you, hey, you know what, man, it's been hard for the last couple weeks. I've really been down on myself. You know, I bought another program and it didn't work out. And then you go to respond and your tonality does not match the prospect in an empathetic way. You have now lost trust in the conversation. Once trust is lost, it is very hard to get it back. So tip number 4 is make sure your tonality matches the mood of the conversation. Number 5 is turn statements into questions. Let me tell you how this works. This is a big trick whenever you're trying to influence and persuade over the phone. As closers, oftentimes what I hear is they want to talk. They want to say something. They want to project something out into the prospect to convince him or her on why they should do the deal. You don't want to give statements. You want to ask questions. It'd be like, hey, Steve, you know what? It sounds like if you were to get into this program today, it would help you button up your ads a little bit. It would also help you with your copy on your ads. And if you were able to do that, it sounds like you'd be making more money, right? That's a statement. How could I turn that statement into a question? So I would say, hey, Steve, let me ask you this. Like, do you think if you were to get into this program, it would be able to button up your ads and your ad copy? And do you think that would allow you to make more money in the long run? Do you see how at the first scenario, I gave Steve a statement on which I was trying to convince him? The second scenario is I turned that statement into a question. So that way Steve can answer back to me why he thinks this program is gonna help his ads. Remember this, guys, anytime you have a statement in a sales call, you need to think about how I can phrase that statement into a question to get the prospect to sell me. And as the prospect sells you, the prospect is also getting more clarity on the phone on why he should move forward. Boom! There you go, guys. That's my 5-point framework on how to establish instant trust on the call. But we're not done there. I'm gonna give you 2 bonuses that I think are gonna rock your world. Bonus number 1, guys, if you wanna build more trust on the call, it's called a damaging admission. Right? Now in the online space, more than ever in the high ticket space, people are like caught off guard. They don't know if it's a legit thing. Is it a scam? Is this gonna work for me? So for example, if I'm gonna tell somebody, hey man, this program can make you more money than any other program in the marketplace, I'm first gonna tell them something that is damaging to that statement. So I'm gonna say, hey, you know what, John? To be completely upfront with you, man, this program is probably gonna take more effort and more energy on your part to get through than any other program that you've taken before. But what I can tell you, John, is if you put the effort in to go through this program, this will make you way more money than anything you've ever done in your entire life. What did I do there? I gave John I damaged myself by saying, hey, this is gonna take you a lot of time, John, more time than anything else that you've ever done. But if you do it, I promise you, it'll make you more money than anything else that you've ever done as well, right? So by damaging myself, I create trust. So John's like, oh wow, he's being upfront with me. And then I give him a but statement to say, but if you do this, it's gonna do X for you. That allows you to build way more trust in the conversation and make more money overall. And then bonus number 2, guys, is people believe what they see, not what they hear. Anytime you're in a sales conversation, and I hope you're doing Zoom calls because you should be doing Zoom calls, if you can show the prospect, that is 10 times more likely to build trust than just saying. So if you have a testimonial where somebody got X result and you just tell John, well, why not show John if you can? Have something there like a Facebook group, screenshot, before and after, something that shows proof that you are legit. People believe what they see, not what they hear. And in this environment, guys, where everybody's selling basically the same things, the people who see it first will win the conversation. All right, guys, I hope that really helps. You have my 5-point framework for building trust on the call. You also have the 2 bonuses. Let's not forget those, guys. And if you like this type of content, leave a thumbs up on this video, guys. So that shows me that, hey, I'm into this kind of content. It's jiving with me. I'm liking it. And then also leave me a comment down below because I want to answer your guys' questions. If you have questions around the sales process, we want to answer it for you. And of course, if you haven't already, join our free group, guys, the Closers Network. It's completely free. We're going to give you our 4 frameworks to how to close a deal on every single call in one conversation. And with that being said, Rich out. We'll see you for the next one. Peace.